Now we're going to go ahead and pull the pitman arm off. Idler arm is already loose. I got that bolt out as you saw in the time warp. This I'm going to go ahead and pop off. You need to have a puller for this. You can't use a pickle fork or anything. Good news is I went to take the nuts off on the tie rod ends, and the tie rod is spinning in the steering arm. So it's a good thing this thing didn't hit the road, because they would have continued to waller out and it wouldn't have been good. So we're going to zap these off real quick, see what happens. Just like that, the nut comes off, the lock washer comes off. Of course, I don't have the right socket. I'll be back. Probably going to need that. So what we do is we slide this over the top. Jeez. Of course, didn't unscrew it after the last time we used it. Now look, whenever you're using these pullers like this, always make sure you've got good lube on there. If you don't, when you tighten it up under stress, it's going to gall, and then you can just throw it away and go buy another one. Because not only will you not get a part that you're trying to get apart, you'll also ruin your puller. Said the voice of experience. Shamefully, but I admit it. A little bit of never sees will go a long way to protect your pullers. Okay. Make a little noise. A lot of times you got to put a load on this and then just smack it once with a hammer to get it to release. We'll see what happens here. And there we have it. And just like that, we have a socket stuck. Thankfully we have a hammer. And of course, you always get an itchy nose when your hands are dirty. Got it. Okay, so there we have that. Now there's a couple ways to do this. I'm just going to cut these off just because we aren't going to use these tie rods again, and I don't want anybody else using them because they aren't worth a darn. So I will clean up a little bit, get a bite to eat, and we'll be back to tear some more of this apart. I want to take a minute and talk about a little safety here. Well, I don't always remember to, but I wear these safety glasses when I'm up underneath anything, because the one thing you don't want is to get a piece of stuff in your eye and at 3 o'clock in the morning wake up because it hurts so bad you can't sleep, and then because you waited a day have to get your eye drilled for them to get that little piece of rust off that you tapped an exhaust pipe with a wrench, not meaning to, and something fell in your eye. Now, another thing, I used to teach hazardous material management. I did it for a company that did nothing but MSDS control, inventory control for car dealerships and other automotive businesses. And the one thing I learned out of teaching all of the mechanics and stuff that I dealt with and all of the people in service and sales departments and all, I learned one thing that was really amazing to me. And that is, one of the guys on the oil change rack, when he changed oil, he reached up underneath there, pulled that drain plug out, didn't think anything of it, and oil ran down his hands. We've all done it. You grab a rag, you wipe it off, poof, it's all good to go. He had terrible migraines for years that he was doing this. I taught a class, talked about absorption through the skin, and for some reason he decided to heed my notice and started wearing gloves. About 3 months later, I get a call out of the blue at my office, and the guy thanks me for teaching him to wear just a simple pair of rubber gloves. His headaches went away because it wasn't going through his skin and into his bloodstream. Think about that next time you're using brake clean, you're draining the oil, transmission fluid, gear oil. Man, rubber gloves are cheap. I don't wear them all the time either, but if you're getting some really gooey stuff on you, just think about that. If you start to have headaches or something, man, use a pair of gloves. It's cheap insurance for you not getting garbage in your bloodstream that you don't want. But a whole bunch of motor oil, grease, and garbage from underneath the car, wear a pair of gloves. My cousin Brian, taking care of later important things. Okay, so continuing on, I'll kind of give you a close look at what's happening here. We're going to remove the upper A-arms, the lower A-arms, sway bar bushings, the front struts, and everything else underneath here. It even had a sway bar back in 1957. Brake lines will all go. Everything's coming off. Wish me luck. Let's dive back in. Well, that was fun. As you saw, the last bolt broke, but the sway bar now comes out. So we're going to give this a little wiggle and a jiggle. And somehow, see if we can't get one side, clear something, and we'll drop it out the other side. For our next trick, we're going to try and get this out. You can see it, this bar right here, and this bar right here. They actually stabilize the lower control arm so it can't move forward and backwards. So let me grab some tools, chip out a little rust. We'll get on that. Just imagine you're standing underneath that, and all of a sudden all of this garbage starts popping out, getting in your face. Oh, they look pretty. All right, let's see what the other side looks like. I made it through without banging my head. That's once. They aren't castle nuts, so we're gonna try breaking them loose with a breaker bar, seeing if we can't get them loose. Okay guys, we have a little issue here. Since I left, I went ahead and got the front struts out. So this one is spinning the whole thing. The other one came off the lower ball joint. So what I'm going to do is throw the impact on there, see if we get lucky. I would have kept you around for removing the front struts, but they were fine thread. I don't know, probably, what, 5/8, 16 or something like that, which means 16 threads per inch, which means 16 rotations per inch, which means at about a quarter of a turn or less, it's a lot. So I've been unscrewing for quite a while. So we're going to try this, see if we get lucky here. If it spins fast enough, it may just break free. Looks like it might have moved a little bit. We'll tighten her back up again. If we get it. Not that you'd be wondering, but I'm using an impact swivel, which locks in a little bit better than a standard old swivel, so that if it gets to spinning, it doesn't throw it in your face. Makes quite a difference, actually. Although, you'll never know it until it's too late. it's making it right to the end. And then it gets squirrely. Let's bop it a little bit. Whole trick is trying to get that taper to lock back in there just enough to get it to spin the nut loose. I like the fact that it's already loose, but then again I don't. Look at that. I hope you caught that, because now it's out of there. And if it really wants to play nice, it's loose. The other side, not so much. Let's see if we can just give that a smack. Once again, really don't want anybody reusing these ball joints, so I don't care if I hit them. Looky there. So now, the lower control arms are totally loose. Let's play with the other one first. There it is. Now it should be totally loose front to back. So let's move you up here. Remember that torsion bar we beat on? Let's see if we can finagle this whole thing, lower control arm, torsion bar and all, right out of this hole. Here we go. Oh shit, better cut my speedo cable. Okay. I don't think we're going to be able to make that live. So, proof positive, there's more than one way to, well, skin a deer. I don't know why anybody'd want different ways to skin a cat. Who'd skin a cat anyway? That just sounds a little bit, I don't know, fucking weird. Excuse my language. Nah, screw it. Think we get lucky again? Let's find out. Now this side had a lot more dirt up underneath it. Oh, we got a washer here. That be holding us up. It's interesting, one side had a washer, one side didn't. There we go. Okay, that's clear there. Let's smack the end of this with a hammer quick. Ooh, that's in there. Let's back you up so I don't break the camera. And we'll smack her a few times. Okay, it's loose. Although you can't see it now, it's being held in by the back. Let's see if I got two of these in me today. By the way, did I tell you, they ain't light? They ain't light. Now see, we're gonna have a little problem there. I don't know if you can really tell, but the floor's kind of collapsed right there. So, I don't think she's going to slide back and out as easy as we'd hope, so let's get big bar. My cab ventilation problem has been solved. I can actually still buy floor pans for this car, so they are on their way. So if I booger this up a little bit, it's okay. We're going to cut it all out anyway. Nice crunch. Can I get that little piece out? Yes, I can. Now, maybe if I use my jack here, there it goes. Well, kind of. Let's go up a little more. This brace is actually rusted right through right there. I don't think it's going to play well with others. We got her up there pretty good. You can see my ventilation system. She's pretty rotten. That is just stuck. Why are you so stuck? Aha! See if we can get it to go. Oh, watch out for that. For the help again, third hand comes in handy. Trying to get this big son of a bitch out the hard way, being as it wasn't coming out the easy way. Just hit my head for the 42nd time today. So, there you go. That's what it all looks like. All you guys that work out in the gym, do this for a week. Okay, here's the finals. I've been working on the upper control arm bolts, which you don't really need to see. It's bolts. So, I've been whacking away on them. And I got them loose. Now I gotta figure out how to handle all this heavy shit. Oops, excuse my language again. So we're doing this as not for kids, and you can decide if you want your kids listening. I warned you of that right out of the box when I started this video series, so it's up to you. Don't blame it on me. So I have the upper control arms held in by one bolt, and one bolt only. I got a feeling when they come out, it's going to be quite a sight. So I'm going to back the camera up, and I'm going to pull that last bolt and run like hell. Let's see what happens. Everybody clear? Bunch of shims. That control arm's totally loose. Wow, it's always the last bolt, isn't it? There we go. That was a lot of work for a ½ an inch of threads. Ooh, didn't look hot. Alright, so we can either hit the generator on that side or the generator on this side. That ain't nothing. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. Now you know you wanted to see me drop that, but I did. All right, now this is the heavy side because the other side's hanging off it. Let's see what happens here. Well, that ain't so bad. All right, let's get stuff out of the way. Prepare for the hernia. Ooh, ooh. Let's cut that brake line. Otherwise, I'll be holding on to that in my hand, and as I turned around to go get something to cut it, the other brake catch me right in the shin. And 5, 4, 3. Get something different. I need bigger equipment. Chomp, chomp, chomp. All right. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Clear. Ta-da! See how easy I made that look? Well, guys, there she is. One front suspension missing from a 1957 Chrysler New Yorker. We'll continue on. Next couple days we'll make another video about getting her front bumper off, spiffing her up, and getting ready to mount a straight axle. You guys have a great day. Just in case you're wondering what it looks like, there's all that fine stuff. Only dropped on the floor one time. Pretty cool.